Hi, welcome to this one. Now, in this one, we'll be looking at another powerful window functions. And then these powerful window functions are basically aimed at positioning, right? The positioning of your data set. The window functions are always on the same level of granularity of the data, but in this case, we would like to know which row is the number one, which is the second, which is the third, which is the fourth. And basically, we will be demonstrating this with a sales table. And this is the sales table, which basically contains, the invoice numbers and the store names, vendor name, and a couple of other very important statistics of different transactions that was carried out in a certain, location. So here, what we would like to do is we'll select a certain store name, and then we will just, do an analysis to see how can we rank the items in the store. The bottle volume of all the items in the store based on different types of, window function. So the window functions will be the row number, the rank, and then the dash rank. So let's get into the queries and then we understand it even better. So here, it's basically the same. We have like our, format of the window function, but before then, we will just be limiting this data set to a couple of columns so as to, make, our analysis even much more efficient. So here we would like to see the invoice number of each transaction, and then we would like to see the store name, and then we would like to see the bottle volume, right? So, and also we would like to limit the transactions, the volume of this analysis to just one store. The reason is so then we could easily understand exactly the difference between the different types of window functions that we will be applying today. So here we will limit the store name to a store called the Wine and Spirit. So we have this wine and spirit. So we run the query just to give us, a feel of what the data set is before we start, bombarding the new additions. And so here we have we have this data set and it's just basically down to the store names, which is wine and spirit. And we can see that it has some bottle volume ml. So the idea here is to basically say, okay, for instance, if you are having one, two, then what is the position of one, two bottle volume in, comparison to all the bottle volumes that we have? Whereas, the biggest is the number one, and then the lowest is the least in terms of positioning. So here we will go ahead and do, add our window function. So the first window function we'll be adding is the row number. So the row number is here, row number over partition by so we're going to partition by the store name, right? So we want to see if for the certain store name, we'll be partitioning by the store name, and then we have to order by. So here we'll be ordering by so as to determine what basically will help the query to rank, right? So it has to do some kind of ranking based on a certain, order. So it should order, by the bottle volume because this is what we would like to use to rank. And also we have to tell it how to rank. So either we would like to say the least is the number one or the least is the last. So in this case, we would like to say the least is the last, or basically the same thing as saying the highest bottle volume is the number one. So here we will put a descending order in that case. So here we have the row number, which is basically the row position. We will call this the row position, right? Or the row number position, which is basically helping us to identify. So then we have the next one, which is the rank, right? So we just copied this same structure, which is actually the same structure. And then the only part we will be changing is the rank. And so here we have the row number we have the rank position, right? So we have the rank position. And then here we will be putting the last one, which is nothing but the dense rank over. So here we put the dense rank over, which is dense rank over. So we have the dense rank over. And then we will be selecting it from this data set. So here, when we do this analysis, this will give us an idea of what is the difference between the different types of ranking processes. So here we put it, and then we can do some kind of comparison. So here, what do we have here? We have the row number basically. So here we have like different invoices. We could see that it seems like the highest of all the analysis, all the bottle volumes that is happening in this store is 6,000. So then we see that there is a difference in the way the three different functions are ranking. So here we see that the row number basically does not care. It doesn't see if there is a tie. It just basically says, okay, so here we have a tie, but somebody has to take first, somebody has to take second, somebody has to take third. So it doesn't consider that there is a tie. It just basically numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the line. So basically, if you run this query again, it's possible that this number 2 becomes your number 1. Unless maybe you decide to order by another, maybe you decide to order by this column, which now means that it's going to do some kind of alphabetical, order. And then basically it will now judge which is the number 1 or number 2. This is if you add this column together with what is already being ordered by. And this is the case. However, on a default, this means like either of these three could be number 1, 2, or 3, right? And then we go to the rank position. Now, the rank position is basically looking at the tie and it's saying, okay, yes, I know this is a tie, and I'm going to give 1, 1, 1 to all of the ones that tie. So give them the same position. And then in this case, since we have already given 3 positions the number 1, then there wouldn't be a number 2, and then there wouldn't be a number 3, right? And so now you have a number 4, and this is the idea. So the next person who comes in line, the rank position will give it the number 4 position, because the 3 people already have the number 1 position already. However, this is not the case for dense rank. So very much like the rank position, it basically gives the number 1 to the ties, but it doesn't, it basically understands that it still wants to give the number 2 and the number 3 position. And this is the difference. This is the idea. So this is very, very important for the analyst or whoever is doing this type of analysis to understand, before you go ahead and apply any of these, functions, these window functions in your analysis. So the understanding of this, basically helps you. So we could also do this for, different stores and all this, but then we have decided to limit this data to the wines and spirits store so that it makes our analysis even better. So basically, this is the idea of, this window function. The idea is to see you on the next one. Thank you and bye-bye.